still heading out to the left behind the fleet. And Vestas looks like they've done really well inside. And let's see now as Dongfang Race Team tack over.
So Dongfang Race Team tacking over, going head-to-head with Team Vestas Wind. Dongfang coming in from the right-hand side. They're coming in on starboard. The boat's already powered up. Vestas Wind coming in from the left. They're going to be on port. So Wind still holding course, still punching over. They've got to turn to avoid, and they do so now, leaving that right to the last minute. They really want to tuck up next to that boat, don't they, Mark?
Now, Vestas could have gone a little bit further, but it looks like that Vestas Team Wind has tacked on leyline. They're confident they're going to get around that top mark. Well, they certainly better, otherwise they're going to be in trouble. And Dongfeng Race Team is now going to hold their position above to follow them into the top mark on starboard.
So we've got two boats vying it out for first place. We've got a bunch going behind them, and soon the fleet
Feng will be on the inside of this.
So the fleet approaching the top mark of Alicante Import. Time to the top, we've got Vestas Team Wind, we've got Dongfang Race Team neck and neck. The downwind sails are up and furled, ready to go. There really is too tight to call. These two boats are going to get squeezed in tight around the top mark. It's all going to be about how they maneuver that limited room to try and get the advantage on the downwind leg. And Vestas pushing Dongfang right up. A big luff, Dongfang Race Team having to head up to avoid that, allowing Vestas just to get that little bit of room, pull their bow down, swing the stern out, and hopefully keep their bow in front so they can get the breeze first.
Well, that was really nice work from Vestas. They did a little nudge to windward, and that just pushed Dongfang Race Team up, and it just stalled them from bearing away down. So Vestas got a really nice call around that top mark.
Abu Dhabi, first boat to go around the other mark. Alva Medica now at the top of the course. Their Spinnaker about to come out, but it's Team Brunel and Team SCA neck and neck around the bottom. The girls on board that boat helping the Spinnaker clear the jib sail. Now they've got to come back, hoist it, unfurl it. Team Brunel, Spinnaker already out, already powering them on. Those two boats, bow to bow, they are going to be vying for that clean wind position. If Team SCA can just keep their bow forward, they're going to punch out in front. Coming around the mark now, map free. It's Ica Martinez and Xabi Fernandez on the boat. They're pushing their team as hard as they can. They've got a little bit of catch up to do. But as we go on to the downwind leg, the tactics change, don't they, Mark? Suddenly, there's almost an advantage to being behind.
Well, Mapfre has come around this mark and has been able to actually sail pretty low. But now Vestas Wind really making it difficult for Dongfeng Race Team.
Dongfeng Race Team and Vestas, they are in that typical lock that we see with A3 Spinnakers. You sail angles downwind. Now, if we can just cut to Canute on the water. Canute, we're seeing some really tight boat-on-boat action. These teams are really pushing it. Did you expect this kind of aggression?
Well, yes, I do, to be honest. I absolutely do. This is the way they race, and believe me, they race like this around the world. This is about very small margins. Remember, last race, we had less than 2 minutes between podium positions on the way across the Atlantic into Lisbon in Portugal. So they are used to the small, tight differences. I was very impressed with the SCA team here trying to push Team Brunel and Bowie Becking all the way up to the spectator fleet. and they took a big risk by doing that because they waited to hoist their or unfurl
again going to converge at the bottom of the course. There's another gate to go round. So they're in these individual fights at the moment on either side of the course, but when they come down, if they haven't done enough to get in front of each other, they're just going to run out of room to go round these bottom marks. And unlike the top mark, these massive A3 sails that pull the boat so well downwind, they're going to have to get that down in a hurry to get round the bottom mark.
Well, after all the action of the top mark, they're going to start thinking about how they're going to set up to go into that bottom gate. And we can see that Dongfeng race team now choosing to jibe, and they'll be coming back across on port, and it's pretty close with Alva Medica. I think they'll make it in front, but it's going to be close. So they're coming. In fact, I think they're going to fade back again. They're sailing very low and slow, and yes, they're going to get across. They're going to get across.
Dongfeng race team there. That's a very gutsy maneuver. I mean, these guys are gutsy on the start line. They're gutsy out on the race course. And the spectator fleet almost being part of the action there. Alva Medica, the young guns, being able to hold their line, hold their speed. They've had some fantastic pace downwind, and potentially that group on the right hand side just able to cross in front of the other fleet when they come back together. That right hand side of the course looking like it's got good breeze. They're the boats now in the middle of the spectator course. We've got on the right hand side of your picture Team Vestas Wind. Out on the left hand side, in the middle of your picture, the young guns. Alva Medica jibing now, struggling to get that spinnaker round and set. You've got to release all the power from one side, pull the sail right the way around in the front of the boat, and then get that power back on for the other jibe. Team Vestas Wind behind them, jibing again. So now we're about to converge on that bottom mark. Now then, Mark, as they come into this bottom gate, how are they going to time this so they can get their sails down, turn around the buoys without infringing each other?
Well, it looks like they've lined themselves up quite nicely. They're going to try to come in, not do any big maneuvers in the last point, and get that big asymmetric sail down, and really carry their speed around the leeward mark. That's what they're trying to do, and just keep rolling as they come. And Brunel is certainly trucking down here. You can see how much speed in this in still fairly light conditions, how fast these boats go.
The skipper of Team Brunel, bow becking. This will be his
1,000 miles of training. And Vestas Wind, who has just been training as a team for a very short time, and that big maneuver problem they had on the middle of downwind, I mean, they went from leading the whole race to being dead last, and that's pure crew error, pure crew mistake, and small details that makes a huge difference. And here you go from first to last, basically, and that's a tough one for them to swallow. But they have a few months to make up for it.
These are these import races, pressurizing the crews for their close quarter maneuvering in a way that on an offshore, yep, you've got a little bit more time, but you want to try and hold on to every little meter. So this import racing, proving that you've got the skill to get around these imports, is so important. Abu Dhabi Ocean Racing, skippered by Ian Walker, one of the most celebrated skippers that GBR has, leading the pack. They are the most experienced team. They're also definitely hungry for the win this time. Ian Walker not quite getting the results he deserved in previous years. It's going to be really interesting to see if this is a pattern we're going to see time and time again.
Well, it is not surprising that on board Abu Dhabi Ocean Racing, if you add up all the times that their crew have sailed around the world, they have a total of 20 times that they've sailed around the world collectively, and that is by far the a very, very experienced crew indeed.
Now, these Volvo Ocean 65, they sail with 8 crew members. They've got a couple of guests on board today, plus 1 media man. Now, 8 sailors, that's not a lot to control this massive power. And as you look down on the boat, sailing in your picture there, Abu Dhabi Ocean Racing, Ian Walker's on the helm, the other guys in the middle of the boat providing the power and also providing so much feedback to the helm so you can make the right decisions. Team Vestas Wind, yeah, a new team coming in. They're fresh. They're trying to be a little bit bold. They're trying to chase up. How on earth do you try and put together a campaign in such a short amount of time, Mark? How on earth can a team that's just joined the Volvo Ocean Race try and compete with some of the top guns?
Well, there's plenty of people out there hungry to get onto one of these boats. So they will have put together a very, very smart team. In fact, there's 15. Well, if you add it up, there's 15 around the world is on board. The skipper himself has done 4 times around the world. And as they come across this second upwind leg, we have Mapfre, center shot.
So Mapfre now in the center of your shot. That is Iker Martinez and Xabi Fernandez. Now, not only these guys, offshore sailors, but also they're juggling 2 campaigns at once. Have I got that one right, Mark? I believe they're also involved in an Olympic campaign.
Well, Iker made that very, very clear that this is Volvo time. Last month he was racing in Santander in the Olympic scene, and that is been put that down, and it's time to think Volvo now.
Now, this team, I was talking to the teams on the dock earlier today, and a couple of them confidentially did say to me that Mapfre is a big scare for them. When you look at that team, you look at the roll call of people on board that boat, one of those names obviously really stands out. Michel Desjoyeaux. This is a guy that's won the Vendée Globe twice. That's around the world by yourself. Here he is on this immense boat, the 65, incredible amount of power, with an incredible team around him. Potentially, Mapfre could go all the way.
Well, you can say that of all these boats. It's amazing the teams they've put together, and there's depth in all of the boats. And it is showing with these one designs that the results will be very mixed. I can see that all of the boats will win a leg at some stage or another.
So Abu Dhabi Ocean Racing still out slightly on the right-hand side, but leading the pack. We've had a couple of boats punch out to the left, Alva Medica towards the middle of the course. Now, Mark, when we see a big split like that, that's really opening it up for tactics. One boat going left, one boat going right. It can make a big upset.
Well, with the boats primarily wanting to protect the right, you're never going to pass the boat if you just follow. So that's what they've tried to